Hello guys, kindly check this application out. Now this, you can see the analytics page, the chart page, the settings page, the sign up page. Then after that, when it's toggle between the sidebar, we can see the icons also works. So that is that, guys. If you want to type along with me, kindly install npm install react icons, npm install react router DOM. Without said and done, let's begin. Thank you very much. Let's begin by creating 4 folders in our SRC folder. Call the first one assets. Assets. Call the second one component. ENTS. Call the third one data. Then call the last one pages. Good. Now let's do the first one, assets. Now in this project we have no spinners or images, so we leave it blank. Move to the next one, components. Component, let's create a file and call it main page.js. So inside that array fce, and instead of ordinary div, why don't we use react.fragment? Good. So inside that we have a section, a div with a page tag to say hello. Let's link this main page to the app.js to view on the screen. So we call main page here. Okay, now let's import main page. Good. Now let's check the screen if we got hello on the screen. You can see, guys, we got hello on the screen. It means we're ready to go. Now this is mobile first. Let's reposition. Great. Now let's close this app.js. Now what else do we do? Next, we need a navbar. So let's create the navbar. So we can say navbar.js. So inside that we can say array fce. Instead of ordinary div, why don't we give it react.fragment? Okay, so that is that for the navbar. Navbar, we gave it a section div with a class name bg gray 100 and height 20. So now to see the navbar, that we need to link it to the main page. So we go to the main page and call the navbar. We take this hello off, then we create a div, and inside this div let's call our navbar. Good. So let's import it. Good. So that is that. Our navbar is ready, guys. You can see. Now the navbar is ready. What else do we do? Now we need to get our sidebar. Okay, so let's do that for the sidebar too. So let's create another component and call it sidebar.js. Array fce. Instead of an array div, let's give it react.fragment. Good. So inside we have a section with a div to say hello. Let's link to see the sidebar. We need to link it to the main page. Okay, so we go to the main page, then we call the sidebar over here. So I can just copy the navbar, then change it to sidebar. Good. So that is that. Let's import sidebar. Let's change it. Let's ID again. Let's run it and see. Oh, something. Oh, sorry. Sidebar. Good. So that's that. You can see the hello over here. So it means the sidebar is also working. So now what do we do next? No time to waste. Let's give it a width, then populate it. So let's go to the sidebar again. Good. So we take the hello off, then give it width and height. So we give it class name width 60 and height. Let's give it screen. Now what we're going to do inside a div is that let's give it 2 divs, one for the icon and one for the one for the title. Good. With the icon one, let's give it a class name bg. Let me make it green. Green 300. Then and next one, let's give it bg blue 300. Okay. Now to see this, we need to use grid. Okay, so I'll use grid over here, where I will say grid. I want to give this one, what's the name, let's divide it into 3 columns. Okay, so we say grid cos 3. Good. Then grid cos 3 we have 2. So the third one, so the blue part is going to take what? Correspond 2. Correspond 2. Since it's 3. You can see, guys. So that is this. So we're good to go, guys. So next, what do? We need the data to populate it. Okay. So without wasting my time, let's go to the data folder, then create our data. Okay, so here over here we say file name, then say sidebar data. Sidebar data.js. Good. So over here we say what? Export course sidebar data. So inside that we can have our first data. Good. Now for our first data, we say the icon, let's give it MD icons, and the icon name is MD dashboard. Then we give it the title dashboard, and we give it the path. Now the icons, we're going to use MD and FA. Okay, so we can import them. Good. So with this is how we imported it. We say what? Import all as what? MD icons from what? React icons MD. Then for AI ones, the same thing, AI icons from AI. And for FA one, we say FA icons from React icons /FA. So that's how we're gonna do it to make it easier. So you just call the AI or MD icons, then you give it the name. So that is that. So next we're gonna do is to populate all the data. Good. So subsequent data, we have the analytics, which is also the same, the charts, the settings slash what? Settings, and the sign out also slash sign out for the path. Okay, so that is that of data is ready. Now next thing to do is to import the data into the sidebar page. Okay, so we go to the sidebar and import our data. So we say import sidebar data from where? From the file location. Okay, data slash sidebar data. So that is that our data is ready. Now what we're going to do is to call the data, use mapping approach to call the data into the first, we have 2 divs, the green and the blue. Okay, so the green, the first one is the green, so we use mapping approach to get the data of only icons into the green. Then the next one we do the only title into the blue. Okay, so let's do that. So let's give it a JSS, then we say sidebar data dot map into bracket. Inside that, let's get our item, come on what? Index, which gives us a function that will return a div. Okay, so inside this div we should have the key equals what? The index. So that is that. So inside that we can have another div, which will be our parent. Then inside that we have the span tag to call the item dot what? Icon. Is it icons or icon? Let's check the data. Item dot icon. Okay, we got it right. So that is that, guys. You see, we have our icons over here. So let's give it a class name. Okay, so we say height 20, test through Excel, and MT 10. Okay, you can see, guys, we got our data. Now we need to send out this data into the height. Okay, so to do that, I prefer using a sender class, which I call sender. A custom class I call sender rather. So we come here and we say dot what? Sender. Then inside that we say display flex, justify content center, align item center. So we're going to call this sender class into our sidebar. Okay, so let's call it over here. Sorry. Good. Center it for us. Good, you can see, guys, it's centered. So that is that, guys. Our icons are ready. Now what we need to do next is to bring the title tool into the blue side. Okay, so we can just copy this, all this, and take it to the blue side. So we copy that. So over here, instead of item.icon, we're going to have item.title. Good. You can see, guys. Now let's add some class names to it. Now this, let's make it over here we can say capitalize. Okay, good. Then what else? Good. We don't need this one at the center. Okay, we don't need it at the center, we need it at the start. Okay, so we take the center class off. Good. Then we introduce flex item center and justify start. Okay, so that will bring it to the start. So that is that. I think we're done with the icons and the title. Now what we do next? Good. Next, let's get our sidebar open and close. Okay, so to do that, let's go up and inside the here section we can create a div here. It's going to be a div to hold the two icons. So inside that we can have two icons. The one, let's call the first one class name. Let's call it open what icon, and let's create another one, call it close icon. Close. See, so close icon. Good. Now inside the first icon, let's import it. Good. So we call FA double right. So the brother is FA double left. Good. So that is that. Now let's import them. Good. You can see, guys, icons are ready. Good. Now what do we do with them? Good. Let's give them some class name to their parent. Give them test2 Excel. Good. Then what else? Now we're going to make them absolute. Okay, in such a way that the open will fall on this the end of the green, and the close will fall on the end of the blue. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that as CSS. Good. So over here we say open icon. The open icon, let's give it position absolute, left 68 and top 20. So that is that. Let's go to the close one too. Now with the close one we say position absolute, left 228 pixels and top 20 pixels. So what we're going to do is what give the the relative to the parent div of the sidebar. So we go to the sidebar, then call over here we can say inside the section we can create a class name and call it what relative. Good. So that is that. You can see, guys. So next we need to create a condition to open and close. Okay, so we create a state to handle that. So let's call use state. So we use state is ready. What do we do with them? Let's create a state. Good. So we say const open sidebar, comma set open sidebar equals use state into bracket false. Okay, so now we need to create a toggle for the state. Okay, good. So over here we say const handle open sidebar equals what a function, and inside that we say set open sidebar into bracket not open sidebar. So that's going to give us the toggle we're looking for. So what do we do with the toggle? Now the toggle we give it all the the icons, we give them one click and call a toggle. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go to the give it a non-click. So we can say give it a non-click and call toggle handle open sidebar. And let's give it to the browser too. Good, handle open sidebar. So that is that. Next thing we're going to do is that we need to now create a condition to display one at a time, so that when it is false, the close shouldn't be seen. Okay, so let's do that. So over here we come here, then create a JSS, then inside that we create the condition. We say equals what, not open sidebar and what, then the icon. So we copy this icon and put it inside. Got it. Good. So that is that. This condition, that is that. So if it's false, it only appears what's happening. Not open sidebar, don't show it. Okay, good, it's working. You see, it's gone. So then we do the second one too, like the same. This one is going about open sidebar, then end, show that. So we're going to do it here. We say bring the GSS, then say to bracket open sidebar and what, and let's bring the icon. Let's cut it, put it there. Good, let's check it out. So you can see now, you can see guys, so cool. Good. Now what we're going to do next is to create a condition also for the title part of the sidebar, so that when it is false, the title doesn't show, but when it is true, the title now shows. So let's see how to do that too. So we go down here to the blue side. Good, so we are in the blue side. Now you can see the blue side there. This one is how do you call it, the class name is what is static. Now let's make it dynamic. Okay, so we bring the bracket. Good, inside the bracket let's call the dynamic code. It's down the escape button. Okay, good, the dynamic code is ready. So inside that you bring your $sign, you call the bracket again, then we can now bring your condition. So we say open, if open sidebar equals true, then what do you do? If it's true, then give me a class name called what? Block. Otherwise, column, give me a class name called hidden. Good. So let's check it out. You can see guys, now it is hidden. So when I click, it's now what? Block. You can see guys, so cool. So that is that guys. Now the next thing we're going to do is what? Create the active link. Okay, so to create the active link, we need to import nav link from React router DOM. So to do that, let's go import it and expand it and good. So that is the nav link is ready. So we go down, then we need to add the nav link to it. Okay, so let's get the nav link. So we come down here before the span and we say nav link. Good. Inside the nav link to where? Item.path. So that is that. Let's put the wrap it around the span. Good. So a nav link should be ready. When you go to the data, you see the path. This is the path we are calling. So that is that. Let's go back. Good. Let's check it out. Good. No complaint. Oh, okay. It's complaining because we need to link the what do you call it, the nav link, we need to call the browser router to the main page. Okay, so let's go and link the browser router to the main page. Good. Let's go to the main page. Yeah, the main page. Good. So we need to link the browser router to the main page. Let's go back to the main page is linked to the app.js. So over here, let's call the browser router. Let's import it. Good. Import it. Now let's call browser router. Good. So that is that. Let's put our main page inside. That's it. Yeah. Now no complaint again. So let's go back to our lesson. Okay, so what we're gonna do is to copy this, the nav link, copy that, and give this over here to the same thing. After that, we just change the name to title. Item.title. Let's check it out. Good. You can see, guys, no complaint. So what do we do next? Now let's create a class name for the nav link in such a way that it should give us the active link. Okay, so we create a class name. We come down here, then we create a class name. Good. So the class name, we say if it's active, give us active link. Otherwise, give us normal link. So we create two class names for active link and normal link. So let's go to the top here. Good. So here we can say const active link equals, then const normal link equals empty over here. So we can just give it say classes for active link. So that is that. Now the active link, what do we need? Let's give it first blue 900. Okay, let's give the same class name to the browser too. Let's copy that. Then the first one was doing for the, what was the name? The title. So now we're doing for icons. Okay, so that is that, guys. As you can see, the active link is working. When we click, it's working. But because so let's change the color to the same thing. Okay. So we come here. Where are you? Here we say gray. And down here to gray. Good. You can see, guys. You can see the active link now. Good. Now next is to create the pages. So I will link them to the pages. So let's see how to do that. So let's go to the pages. So let's take the first one, dashboard page, -board.js. So inside I will say array-fce. So instead of ordinary div, let's give it React fragment with a section, then a div with a p tag called dashboard page, and we give the class name with full height squaring centered, then text for Excel. Okay, so that is that. Let's repeat this for all of them. I can just copy it and create the next one, which is going to be analytics page. cs.js. So array-fce. Good. Now we change it here. Then we call it analytics page. Good. Still can work. Next page, create a file and call it charts.js. REFCE, which paste it there, then call it chart. Good. Next, sign out. GN out page.js. REFCE. Good. Paste it there. Then call it sign out. So that is that. Our pages are ready. Now we need to create another component where we're going to put all the pages together. We call all the pages together over there. So let's go to the component side and call a file and call it all sidebar pages. All sidebar pages.js. Good. So inside that we say REFCE. Instead of ordinary div, why don't we call React fragment? Good. Inside that we don't need this. Take the div off and leave the section. Good. So next we import routes and make it bigger. Next we import routes and route from React router DOM. Okay, so that's what we're going to use here. So let's call the first one, which is going to be routes. Good. So inside the route we can now have the route. So we have the route to the element. Okay, so that is that. Now we're going to call all our elements. Okay, all our pages here. So let's do that too. So that is that. We have the first one, the dashboard. And dashboard, you can see the path. You can see, guys, the next, the analytics is the path is analytics. The next is the charts. The path is what charts, and the what again, settings still the same, and sign out page still the same. Now let's import all of them. Go up here. Good. So that is how we've imported all of them too. Good. So now what we're going to do next is what? We need to see all the pages. Okay. Now we need to see all the pages. We need to call all the pages inside the main page to be able to see it. So we go to the main page and bring the all sidebar pages. Now where do we want to call it? We want to call it just at this the rest of the screen. When you make it bigger, you can see we need to call it at this side. So at this side of the screen. So we need to create we have the sidebar here. If I create another one, I'll call it what? All sidebar pages. All sidebar pages. So that is that. It has been imported for us. Let's make it bigger. It has been imported for us. Good. So that is that. What is wrong? What is missing? Page settings.js. Let's check it. Settings.js. Completing settings.js. Settings.js. Let's go to the pages. Oh, we didn't create for settings.js. Let's do that quick. So you can just copy this. Then create a file and call it settings.js. Good. So REFCE. Good. Then let's paste it there and change it to settings page. Now let's see if you complain again. Good. No complaint. So like what I was saying, down back to where were we? We are the main page, right? Let's close all this. Let's close all this. Good. Chart navbar. Make it bigger. Good. All this good. The main page is good. Now we're calling the sidebar, and we've called it all sidebar pages. Now we check that when we go down, you can see the all sidebar pages. You can see there, but it's at the bottom of the sidebar. Okay, we want it or next to the sidebar, not be at the bottom. So we create a common what's the name? A parent div for both of them. So we can cut it and say div, and then inside that we paste it inside so that you can have a parent together. Good. So this is the parent. This is the parent. We give it a class name now. So we can now give it a class name and say width, full, height, screen, and flex. Okay, so we can have it apart. As you can see, guys, we have it here. The dashboard page is now here. You can see, guys, if I make it bigger, you can see, guys. Good. Now, why is it closer to? Oh, okay, let's make it centered so that it comes to the center. Okay, let's check this. What's the page? Is it dashboard page? Dashboard is centered. So why is it not centered? Okay, you can see, guys, it's changing. Great. You can see, guys. So cool. So that is that. Next, let's look at the listen there. Add some class name to the icon so that it's the same color pops up a little. Okay, so to do that, we can go to the sidebar. Then do the likewise to give the icon a class name. Okay, so just go up here and give the icon. Where are you, icon? Good. There's the icon. Now let's give it a class name here. You can bring it down here. Oh, sorry. Down. Good. And bring it the class name and say DG200. Then rounded full. You can see that it brings that pop up. Good. Now let's look for the brother too. So here. Okay. Brother 2 here. Let's give you some class name. Good. You see it happens for the brother 2. You can see he also has some pop up there. So next thing that is that up is cool. So finally, we go back to the why is this why not in the center? But the dashboard is not in the center. Let's check that out. So I checked and I realized that this is other. So we need to bring it to the center. So we give it a class name. Then we say width, full, height, screen. So that will change it to the center. You can see, guys. So that is that. So that is that, guys. Finally, our app is ready. So cool. So next, just add your stuff to it. Wow, mind blowing. So guys, thank you so much for sticking through. Please don't forget to do good. Catch you in the next one. We say peace.